Hey, welcome everybody to the World of Ability Podcast Network. I am Emily, and we are here to have another episode of Revolutionize Your Marketing with our illustrious host, John Petros Sr. We do every Friday at 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Central. But before we bring in John, I'm gonna bring in Kurt here. So what do you have to say today, Kurt?
Well, I just want everybody to know that we're really excited for the added excitement here at Revolutionize Your Marketing, the show that's gaining more attention. So we heard the story today that John running a Smart Connect for Alignable invited the whole attendance. Hey, you want a podcast? And boy, he got three nibblers today, and so two of them are on here already as a guest. It'll be a wild card if our third person raising their hand will show up. But we got two fantastic guests, and we have our fantastic host, John Petros Sr. John, come on in here. It's a pleasure of the World of Ability Podcast Network. We're obviously partnered with Helpopedia. Check them out at helpopedia.org. But we're fueled here in all things marketing by Mill City Marketing MA, and we have the proprietor, founder, and facilitator, John Petros Sr., here as your host. Enjoy the show, folks. Revolutionize your marketing. Take it away, John.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Kurt. As always, good to see you again, Emily. We missed you. And welcome, folks, to Revolutionize Your Marketing. We're pretty much everything marketing here. My guests, whatever they do is what we talk about. And of course, everything ties into marketing. So listen up, and you never know what you're going to learn on this show. So let's bring in our first guest, Alyssa. Let's come on in here, Alyssa. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, John, for the most part. I got to be honest, though. I've had kind of a rugged week. On my birthday, I had to bring my partner to the hospital because he's been fighting kidney stones since Thanksgiving. So we had to deal with that. We both also caught COVID. So I've been kind of hunkered down the past few days, just trying to get through it. I'm a little raspy right now. But overall, I'm just plugging away, doing whatever I can on the back end for the Fitzpatrick Collaborative. I'm their programs administrator and marketing coordinator. So I do pretty much like you said, any and all the marketing that comes down the pipeline. I'm trying to make sure we're getting the word out there and disseminating across multiple platforms.
Sorry to hear about the COVID part and kidney stones. So take care of yourselves over there.
Oh yeah, he needs. I'm the one who's pushing all the health food and all this and that. And I see him sneaking little pieces of candy and the occasional Sprite here and there. So he's trying to work on it, but it just takes time.
All right. Well, let's start off with letting people know exactly what it is that you do over there.
Absolutely. So what I get up to over at the Fitzpatrick Collaborative, which is located in Pepperell, Massachusetts, I'm one of the program administrators. So I work with another woman, Bernadette Keegan. She focuses on the kids programming for the most part, and I focus primarily on the adult programming. So we're a community center that has a mixed use licensure in Pepperell. How it all kind of began was it used to be an old school. It was called the Peter Fitzpatrick School. Folks in the area, their kids went there. They went there when they were really young. And over time, by about the mid to late 90s, it actually ended up closing down. So then it was unused for a short period of time when I believe up until, I believe it was gifted to the town in 2018. That's when it went to, from the town, it was gifted to a board that was then told, okay, you have this space, re-envision it how you see fit. You know, give us your proof of concept and do with it what you will. Make it something dynamic for the community to be able to enjoy. So from that point, 2018, fired on all cylinders, tried to get the ball rolling. Bam, 2020 COVID hit right as they were about to launch. So that whole timeline kind of shifted. And that's kind of, as a few years went down the line, I kind of came into the picture. And what I've seen over the past, few months in my short time there is they've put together a really dynamic list of incredible instructors, vendors, people that want to come in and bring their programs there. And it's just a really great place in terms of what it can offer. It's a big space. There's community rooms, there's an auditorium, there's a big gym. So it has this capacity to be able to evolve as time goes by into exactly what the community members want to see. So that's kind of like, in brevity, for the most part, that's what the space is as it stands right now. And then there's kind of a course track that we're moving towards to continue to evolve and transition that space away from that initial school format into something that continues to grow and evolve, be more dynamic as the days go by.
Interesting. Good. Well, we're going to do this kind of a weird way tonight, folks. I'm used to having
Good, I
just
like
one
weird.
guest. I'm used to having one guest, and tonight I have two. So let's bring Sam in, Sam Mitchell. And
Hey, hello. How's everyone doing?
doing good.
Doing well, Sam.
There
Nice
you
to
are.
meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So let's hear from Sam and hear what he does.
All right, so I'm going to what I do. So what I do is I run a podcast called Autism Rocks and Rolls. It's a podcast about autism and how I cope with daily struggles that you may or may not understand. Through the podcast, it's grown so much. I developed sponsors, a board of 6 members. I do event planning in my hometown of Indiana, where I'm from. I also do speaking engagements. I had a job interview today for a master control operator at a TV news station, so wish me luck on that. And also, the way I think about marketing is never shutting up and promoting yourself.
That's true. So I think what we'll do tonight here, folks, is have a 3-way conversation. Either one of you two have a question for somebody else, just feel free and hop in. We'll kind of make it kind of like a free forum between the three of us. Before I bring my co-host, Kurt, back.
Sam, I just had a quick question. So how long have you been running your podcast for?
I have been running it since October 2019, ma'am.
Longer than I've been doing mine.
The pandemic is when I started my nonprofit, but because of the pandemic being a pandemic, we couldn't do much. So my nonprofit really started running in 2021. But if you want to get technical, it was 2020.
Uh-huh. And what nonprofit is that?
It's Autism Rocks and Rolls Corporation. That's what I mainly do the events and speaking engagements through.
Okay, so getting the word out about autism.
Yes, sir. I think it's important because we've been stigmatized for the most stupidest reasons alive.
Yeah. Have you had the pleasure on the line of meeting a person by the name of Mary Stanley?
Yes, I have.
She's very big into spreading the word out about that too, on TV and everything too.
Oh, we're both. I think we're buddies for certainly.
Yeah, you might want to set up a one-on-one with her and talk with her more in detail. She can get you on her broadcasts, get the word out too.
I think we talked before, but maybe it's time to rehash a conversation.
Yeah. So.
Sam,
All right.
I just had a quick question. I might have misheard you when you first spoke about it, but where are you based out of?
I am in Indiana, on the south side, southern central-ish.
By chance, are you a big Stranger Things fan? Just because, and anytime I hear someone mention Indiana, I immediately think Hawkins, Indiana.
Well, you're the guy. You're running to the wrong person, unfortunately, with that. But I got a family friend who is. So maybe you can talk to her, but I'm probably the last guy you want to talk about Stranger Things with, buddy.
No worries. Definitely hook me up with your friend then. I'd love to chat with her.
She's kind of nitpicking who she talks with, but I'll see what I can do.
See, that's what I love about the show. I get more than one people on, and you never know what comes out of it. So, oh, Alyssa, is there, it sounds like you're trying to fill up with new programs at that collaborative.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, we have, a pretty wide span of classes for both kids and adults. We have Intro to Magic, where we have this wonderful woman, Stephanie Beach, come in, and she teaches the kids like 8 different techniques to be a young musician, which is really cool. Breakdancing, John Marty, great guy. He actually used to do some really cool breakdancing out in the UK. And he recently moved to Pepperell, and so he's teaching the kids how to do some cool, breakdancing moves, and it's great. There's a lot of opportunity to kind of get your kids out there and try something new, try something different.
Kind of like a new style, more modern boys and girls club type of thing. Then,
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's, for me, the biggest thing when I think about, community centers, we all kind of have similar struggles in terms of, retention rate, repeat registrants sometimes, being able to broaden that scope. But I think one of the biggest things that I think when we think about that structure is when we rely on our local community, when we see, okay, there's a photographer who lives over here on this street. It's like, oh, okay, let's bring her in and, have her teach her class. Oh, John lives just over here. Let's have him come in and do his class. When you make it focused on the people that are in the community, there's this synergy that goes on. It's magic once people connect with it.
I think I'm going to add to what she said, actually, if you don't mind. I think it's more than just being a community leader. I think to be a community leader, you have to have a servant's heart. Like, your job should be to lead is by serving the people. With my podcast, that's what I do. I serve the people with resources. You may not want them, but you're going to get them.
Sam, I think that's such a great point. I fully agree. I think it's so important to, offer, the tethering between different nonprofits. That's a big thing of what we do. We have nonprofits will come in and they'll just use our space for, we had a foster event where we had a donation drive for foster families to come in and get hats and clothes and stuff like that, toiletries. I think that's so important for all nonprofits need to collaborate and work together and build these kinds of nurtured connections.
Well, since you're mentioning shirts, give me 1 second here. I'll show you mine if I'm allowed to. Would that be okay? I don't want to do it without permission.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, sure. Just 1 sec. This is what it looks like in case anyone's interested in listening. Get it out here first.
Those are some sweet threads, brother.
Cute.
Thank you. We're selling them for $20 if you're interested. Donation, but I'm also willing to, budge a little bit. I'm not one of those harsh people out there who's like, it's $20, deal with it.
Okay, all right. You both have nonprofits. Well, I have something for you guys to check out on that. It's a site, and Kurt's very familiar with this. It's inspire.world. It's designed for nonprofits. They give you a website with products that they will put your logo on. And there's a few other features involved. But they give you the website and they post the products on it with your logo on it, all free of charge.
Oh, wow.
And any items that are
That's
bought
awesome.
off of it, you get half of the proceeds for the nonprofits.
John, thank you. That's such an invaluable resource.
And hey, this is all part of marketing, folks. Yeah, it's set up basically for nonprofits. I have it myself because I am pushing it. So I have my own products on there. And one of the features that I was not expecting, I opened it up one day, scrolling down through the products, and lo and behold, I have sports jackets for teams from all over the country in pretty much a lot of the sports, basketball, baseball, hockey, football. And I would say that they are the ones you would buy if you go to the games and pay $250 and up for. And you'd be surprised at the price that they are. And right underneath each item,
For
it lets you know how much money will be coming back to your nonprofit.
yeah, for that for $250 for a t-shirt, I'm a little bit iffy on that
No,
one.
these are for the actual jackets, like the ones that they sell for $250 when you go to the games.
But it's
Oh,
included in one of the product listings on inspire.world. It's included as one of the options, like in the package.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
okay.
cool. Because
That
like
makes
you
a lot
said,
more
those are hundreds of dollars. Yeah. So that's once again, it's another type of media that you're marketing yourself on. We used to have these little
Yeah.
stress balls that people would go nuts for when we'd go to these fairs. And now I think we ran out of them and we couldn't find who we ordered them from. So that might actually be perfect. We could reach out to them and see if they could do some stress balls for
Yeah.
us, maybe.
Actually, I'll give you an example of one of the items. Hold on a second. You two chat for a minute. I'll be right back.
Absolutely, John. Yes, yeah. What were some of the pitfalls and like some of the roadblocks that you had when you started your nonprofit during the pandemic? What were some of the obstacles you had to face?
It wasn't growing, but it wasn't my fault in a way.
Yeah.
Because we have this pandemic, more people about worrying about buying more toilet paper, and which I found hilarious,
Yeah.
and washing their hands than buying a t-shirt.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back. Give you an example of some of the items.
Ooh. Oh, that's nice.
You just send
Oh, I
them in
love
your
that.
logo and they print it.
That's
I
cool.
designed that one.
That's awesome. Oh, I meant to ask you, John, how was your networking event that happened on Tuesday? How was that?
It was smaller than what I was hoping for, but it was a good time.
Good. Good. I wanted to come out, but with my crazy week, there was no way that was going to happen. But I was definitely thinking of you guys. I hope you guys had fun.
We did. There was like maybe 10 of us that were there, but it was fun. It was just a mingle time, and me and my co-ambassador, we split the cost for cheese and cracker and meat trays.
Nice.
There you go. Another tool I could think of isn't just Inspire.world. I was referred to this by another person on another separate networking event. It wasn't through a live, but just a speed networking event. It's called Agent.ai. Agent.ai, from what I understood through my partner doing the research, it's like an online intern.
Huh.
Like some of these services they have available. I'll just read them off to you if you're interested. Let's see what I can find here. Meeting follow-up. They have video script generator, a web design grader, website domain value expert, a meme maker, LinkedIn posts. You can do LinkedIn posts through AI. Like instead of manually, you type in the information, it does it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Flux image generator. Tell you what else for you I can find. Research. I think it has a lot of others too, as well. Oh, you can create your logo with AI. Very cool.
Yeah, definitely sounds like it helps you collapse some of your timelines, which is nice when you're wearing so many hats in a nonprofit. So
right. I mean, that's what we're running into too. Is there's so much work we want to do, but half of it's just like time consuming, and we're trying to focus on the bigger picture, but we got to do the little pictures too.
Yeah.
But we don't want to do the little pictures. Solution I came up with that is we're doing a lot of intern searching.
Oh, yep. Absolutely. We're working on getting a couple different colleges to collaborate with us to give us interns kind of at their off season. So yeah,
I'll give you a hint.
Very helpful.
I'll give you a hint. Use LinkedIn.
Yep. Yeah, that's how Bernadette found the one from Nichols College, was through LinkedIn. Yep.
Use LinkedIn and aim for college students, but also you got to be at the right time. What I've learned, because if you do it in September, October, November, or August, they don't care. Yeah. They're busy on academics. They're going to say they're too busy. But if you do it during Christmas break, whenever their Christmas break is, and then the beginning of the month, because they're not finding classes at that time span, and towards the end of their semester, because they're going to go back home and probably, if I know them well enough, not do a whole lot unless it is, a job or having a social life. That's your time to get them, because they might actually want to find work for the summer.
That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So definitely like Christmas break and the summertime. So kind of like that 6 month and 12 month. Cool. Good to know. Yeah. Thank you.
Do it. Probably your best months are, in my opinion, December, January, and May.
Interesting. Thank you for that, Sam. That's, once again, I think that's something that we need to lean more on, is outsourcing some of our labor, because we're such a small team right now. So having other collaborators come in, whether it be contractors or interns, I think is pretty invaluable for us right now.
Right. And also, Idealist would work too for you. I don't know if you use that or ever heard of that, but Idealist, idea, and then list.
Oh.
I think that's how you spell it. But that's where you can do any time, and then you post the job of what you want them to do. So let's say you want your person to make a video or be your video editor for your nonprofit.
Oh, it's kind of like, is it Fiverr? Kind of similar to that?
Yeah, except you type in the job you want, put the description in there, hit the send button, and then you gotta give it a few minutes for it to post. And then we'll post, and then you have tons of people wanting in. And it makes the volunteer give your number and email and any background they have.
Yeah, Alyssa, if you're looking for people for staffing, I was supposed to have a one-on-one with somebody earlier today. She lives in Manchester, New Hampshire, but she works out in Methuen, and they are a kind of like a staffing agency, and they even post jobs on their website.
Okay.
So I will connect you and Patricia out.
Patricia. Okay.
And you guys
I'm
can
definitely open
collaborate.
for a conversation. Absolutely. 100%.
She was supposed to be coming last Tuesday night also.
Oh, I see.
So,
and it's
you two will be meeting at one of the events.
Very cool. I'd love to meet her. Yeah, this time of year is so tough with all the crud going around. It's really ramping up in real force.
Right.
Yeah.
I can give you another piece of advice, if you don't mind me interrupting you, John, for Alyssa. How much do you use the press? If you had a guess, I'm just curious, like literally.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We do some print media, and there's like a local real estate office that's close by to us, Blood Realty. We post some of our community events that we do. Like we have an upcoming coffee house series that's going on. That's starting next month on the 22nd, and we got that listed in there. A couple of our other reoccurring events coming up, like the community bike sale in May. We're going to put that one in there along with our spring artisan fair. So we use some of the mailers because those go out to people's mail. But other than that, trying to think of any, there's not much tactile mail that I can do.
If it were me, and I'm just suggesting, I'm not trying to, what you're doing is great. That's awesome. That's a good start. But I would try to boost up your press a little bit. Try to get on some, you say you're from New Hampshire, right?
I'm from New Hampshire. My nonprofit that I work for is in Pepperell. It's right on the New Hampshire line. So
okay, but look at like Pepperell, New Hampshire, and your area probably. Maybe look for magazines, other magazines than what you've already done. But if I may ask, does New Hampshire have any radio stations that are nearby you, or like?
Ooh, yeah. I did
How do
reach
you?
out to a couple local radio stations. There was one I think that broadcasted out of Fitchburg and one out of Lowell. But I haven't heard anything back. I was hoping for their year end, maybe they had some, spots for nonprofits. Maybe they have to meet a certain allotment per year of nonprofit advertising, but I didn't hear anything back.
Okay, what about television? Like news stations? Have you reached out to them?
I've reached out to there is a Pepperell, it's like a public access, I think Pepperell Community Media, I think is what they're called. And same thing. I gave them some of our graphics and stuff like that to run as like rotating cast on their broadcast, but same thing. It's just kind of
Right.
hanging
No,
in the breeze right now. Gotta send another email,
Right. Maybe like you said, just hit your local news stations like WTHR. They're in Terre Haute. They're from an hour from me, but they still did the story. So maybe I'm not trying to say don't keep what you're doing is great,
Yeah.
but maybe expand your press a little bit.
Yeah, maybe go farther into New
Yeah.
Hampshire because we get some registrants that will come in. We'll get families from like Hollis Brookline, which is just over the line for us. So I wonder, maybe going a little further, doing more like the WMUR, kind of a little bit further up into the New Hampshire might drive us some traffic. That's a great thought.
Yeah.
Right. I'm trying to think I don't know what the capital is, New Hampshire. You'll have to bear with me, but
Concord, don't worry, I got you, brother.
How far are you from the capital of New Hampshire, if you don't mind me asking?
Gosh, it's probably about 45.
Yeah.
From Nashua.
All right. See if the capital has any press you should do, because from what I've heard, the big cities have the most press opportunities.
That's fair. Absolutely. That's such a good point.
Alyssa, a couple of places too for you to get in touch with. The Lowell Sun.
Lowell Sun. Yeah, that's a great thought. That's such a good point. I hadn't even thought of that.
I don't know how well the advertising department is because everything is outsourced now.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Because I used to work for them. Me and my wife still deliver newspapers at night.
Oh, wow.
But
my dad used to do cartoons or does some kind of he did some kind of formatting for them way back in like the mid 70s.
Yeah.
And then he worked for another paper. There was a paper in Jaffrey, I think, that he used to work for. But that one, oh my gosh, that's many moons ago.
And another thing to do is go on, look up the Patch.
Oh yeah, Patch. Yep.
I got my business
digital
listed
stuff,
on that.
or they do physical stuff too.
Yeah. I put my business on the Patch.
Okay.
You can go by town on that also.
Yep. But they only do digital stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. That's what I thought. I wasn't sure. They didn't do anything physically printed.
No.
Okay.
No, they do it all digitally. What else? I will send you the information for my buddy who does a podcast out of downtown Lowell.
Oh, cool.
He used to
Can I be in the studio for that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's another suggestion, actually, John, if you don't mind me interrupting again.
Yeah.
Okay. Get on lots of podcasts. That will work. That will work to a T.
Yeah.
Nice.
My buddy used to do the morning radio show on CAP.
Okay.
And he had a little dispute with the owner and opened up his own podcast studio downtown.
Okay.
And at first he started about a year and a half, maybe even 2 years ago, something like that. And he wasn't paying attention to the numbers. After he was doing the podcast for 8 months, he looked at the numbers and he had over 800 followers.
Wow.
Most of them are local businesses. And yes, I am trying to get myself on some podcast.
Yeah.
I've already mentioned it to him a couple of times, but we never followed through with each other.
Interesting.
He manages his parents' Greek restaurant in downtown.
I love Greek food. I just had some the other
Oh.
day. Very cool. I'll have to
And
support his family-owned business as well. Awesome.
yeah,
I have a curious question too. So, in light of that, when it comes to getting on a bunch of podcasts, what have you guys seen in terms of your business? How, when you get on a podcast, your SEO rating, so your search engine optimization, how does that factor into it for you guys?
I think it depends on how big the audience is for you.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It depends on the audience. Like this one here is being live streamed on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Wow, very cool.
It's on YouTube on my page,
Yeah,
and Kurt puts it on his pages on the other ones.
very cool.
And I've done one. I need to go in and do a lot more. I can promote the podcasts afterwards on YouTube. I did that with one of them, and 14-year-old girl got an extra 46 views just by a 1 week promotion on YouTube.
Wow,
She
that's
actually
awesome.
has the most views of all my podcasts so far.
You were telling me a little bit
Yeah,
about your interview with her. I got to go back and find that.
yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of ways to get the word out, um, which is why I've expanded mine the way I have with um, I now doing videos on live stream TV like Disney Plus, Hulu, and all the Paramounts, and now on radio stations across the country on iHeart Radio Network.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's plus I can also promote things kind of on Alignable through my network, which is now over 2,000 connections.
Incredible. Yeah, Alignable
That's
has
all over the
been
country.
awesome to engage in. I have to say, it feels great to see who in my community I can connect with, but also
Yeah,
how much farther out in terms of the range you can meet when you just open yourself up to Alignable as a platform. It's pretty valuable.
yeah. Well, let me bring Kurt in and see if Kurt has any questions for you too. My co-host, Kurt.
All right. So, Alyssa, you were talking
Sorry about
about guesting on shows, and then what does guesting do for SEO?
Yes.
So, for me, I proclaim the key is as a guest to own your show that you guested on.
Mm,
Because a lot of people guesting, come to John. John, have me on your podcast, and he talked about all the magic we create for all of you guests. But the real magic happens is when you, as a guest, say, OMG, I was just on the greatest Smart Connect, with
yeah.
Alignable. Have you ever heard of it? And then there's this dude, John Petros Sr. He invited me onto a
Yep.
podcast, and now
Yep.
I'm going to come on, the podcast. And this is how you tune in and watch me while we're live and, all
Hmm.
the stuff so that if as a guest you share the excitement and maybe even, exceed the excitement that someone like John has for the show, because that's where the synergy happens.
Right. Right.
Because we're doing it on our end to drive it out there and to get
Yeah.
people to pay attention to it. And then if Sam does it and you, Alyssa, do it,
Yeah.
and then we do a post production and maybe some of the other places John, has, like you
Mm,
just mentioned, a past show, and when the search engine starts to see we're serving a lot of people through
yeah.
this video, and you're the one on that video, and we're especially asking for people to react and comment. So when we set up that while we're live here, that we have an engaged audience, because all of our Alignable friends are on here, and hey, I want to connect all of you on Alignable. Here's my profile, blah blah blah. When it really becomes a tool that serves the viewer, that's where it's, and the other part of it is a lot of our guests are asking, like, what's the purpose of your show? Now, John's show, Revolutionize Your Marketing, here in this show, it's pretty obvious. We're looking to talk shop. So if you're a financial advisor, how are you driving your marketing? If you're a technologist, how are you driving your marketing? I tell people a lot, I love marketing through technology and events. So Alyssa, for the question you asked, does what I all said, add to some more of you know, what you feel about the topic of your question?
Absolutely. I fully agree that idea that it kind of has to come from the front end and the back end. It has to be mutually supported. I think that kind of even leads to my next question. I mean, I know this is being live streamed currently, but obviously there'll be playback, but I'll be able to go back on socials and either pull it from YouTube or wherever and say, hey, I was on this really great podcast, and, tag John and tag everybody on socials. That way, at least there'll be something going forward, that people can be like, oh wow, that's cool, they did a podcast, and have that kind of lasting effect. I mean, definitely in the future, if I were to come back on, I'll make sure to you know get the vibes going, pre-game the vibes as much as possible, for everybody.
I'll tell you another tool that's being a lot used today, and it's working for me so far, is Shorts, YouTube Shorts.
Yep. Smart.
Because
Yeah.
more people my age from 18 to 34 are not going to watch an hour podcast or an hour video. They're going to watch 30 seconds of it or a minute of it.
Yeah. And so now, okay, great, Sam. Great point. You just brought me to another question. So being able, will we get like the full interview or podcast? I'm trying to get used to this, I guess. The full podcast, and then be able to make edits from it ourselves.
You can.
Yeah.
You could use an app called Vizard. That's what I've done before
Is there?
with my shorts. Yeah, it's called Vizard.ai, I think. Or sometimes the host of the show will do it for you sometimes, and then you post the clip on social media. I got to get a better habit of doing that, though.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I want that. I want some of that in my email inbox, please.
Yeah, Kurt can send you out the links.
Cool.
Right, Kurt?
Yeah, between Sue, Emily, and me, yeah, we'll be able to. Emily's doing the live stream right now, so anything you want on a video file, or if you're using AI that can use a YouTube link, whatever, yeah, we'll get you whatever you need. Slice and dice, put it through your chop shop, and have any little content your little heart desires. Yeah, let's do it.
That's what I like about Kurt. He's got a way with words.
You've got this sing-songy timbre that kind of goes, it really rocks the boat nicely.
He's been told a number of times he should be on. He's got that radio voice.
There you go. And he said once, well, maybe multiple times, he said, yeah, and you also have a face for radio.
I've been told the same thing with my voice.
Oh, great.
I don't know about all that.
All right. So before I forget,
he was saying about his voice. He didn't say about his face. He said he gets that about his voice, and he's got the radio voice.
Before I forget, Alyssa, how can people get a hold of you?
Yes. If anybody wants to go over to www.thefits.org, you can find all of our links in terms of our programming, any of our upcoming in-person events, our coffee house series especially. You can also find out different ways to donate, whether it be your time, labor, or fiscal dollars to us. All that information will be over at www.thefits.org.
And Sam, how about you? How can people get a hold of you?
I'm not hard to find. You can find me on your favorite media platform. You can find me just typing Autism Rocks and Rolls in your Google search engine or in your CEO, and something will pop up. Just do me a favor. Don't type in Sam Mitchell, because you get a basketball player, and I haven't done any slam dunks lately, so you probably don't want to do that one. You probably want to do Autism Rocks and Rolls or autismrocksrolls.com, which is my website.
And if anybody is interested in coming on my podcast, get a hold of me and shoot me an email at millcitymarketingma.com. Look me up on Alignable. I'm on pretty much every social media page. Or you could just my calendar link. Calendly, that's CANLE. Yeah, CALENDLY.com/Mill City Marketing MA. And you can book a one-on-one with me for 45 minutes to an hour, or you can just pick a date and come on my podcast, like these happy folks did, and many more to come. And Kurt, if they're interested in doing a podcast, how can they get a hold of you?
You can text and give me a call, 262-372-1754. Shoot me that email, Kurt at spiritofthegame.org, and that's Kurt, K-U-R-T, at spiritofthegame.org. And you also can Google me and find me out there with the World of Ability Podcast Network. And so anyway you can get me, linkedin.com/in/Hey Kurt, HEYKURT. Back to you, John.
All right, folks, and that looks like it's going to be a wrap for tonight. Remember, stay tuned every Friday, live at 5 Eastern Time.